Welcome to episode 162.
I swallowed my coffee the wrong way. 170
Oh, fuck.
Welcome to 162.72. Episode 16,762.
Welcome to...
We've been doing this for 19 years.
Feels like it. Welcome to episode 173. Is it 172?
Welcome to episode 2 of part 2 of Watch and Complain.
Let's just restart the
Part
show.
5.
Rename it again. Welcome to 170. Welcome to episode 172 of Watch and Complain. We are talking about the much
How numbers
M3GAN.
work. We're talking about how numbers work. When you start getting into the higher parts of the 170s, how math works.
M3GAN.
You know what?
That's not your name.
I thought... So the 3 confused me in the movie. The M3GAN. Because I'm like, what the fuck is it 3? And then she says that she's mobile, third-generation Android
where it
newbie
comes
or something.
from?
That's where it comes from.
Okay. Good to
I
know.
only figured that out in the second viewing of this stupid movie.
This was pegged, or I thought it was pegged.
I'd get pegged by M3GAN.
Home way. As I thought it was going to be a scary movie. Not a scary movie.
So,
Speaking of scary movies, I brought you a very scary drink.
Mountain Dew Pitch Black Citrus Punch. Wow. This does look scary. There's a moon that has scary eyes on it. And it's got 290 calories.
I will tell you that I used to drink this when it was first brought to Canada in my teenage years. And
40 years. How many years ago was that? I know you're not good at math.
it was quite a bit.
171 years ago.
25 years ago. Something. Anyway, this will turn your poop purple, blue,
Ooh, blue poop.
green, something in that realm. So don't be surprised if you drink it all. And tomorrow,
Nice. Now
let us know next week.
Now I can sit there and stare into the toilet.
I can only have a sip of this because it's carbonated. Hopefully it brings back memories.
Tastes like M3GAN.
Yeah.
Tastes like M3GAN. Yep. That's what happens when you suck on the toes of a 12-year-old robot.
All
right.
I would never.
So,
Was she 12-year-old?
that's the vibe I got.
That's what I say all the time.
Jesus Christ, no. That's the one that gets us in trouble. That's the one that gets us banned off YouTube.
They know it's a joke.
So, no, I was on the same thing. So I saw, so right out of the gate, Blumhouse has made one good movie, or one movie that was legit scary, okay? And then...
Is it Blumhouse or is it Blumhouse?
I call it Blumhouse, whichever one it is. I could give a fuck.
It could be either.
Blumhouse has made one good movie, and that was Get Out.
Is it Blumhouse or is it Blumhouse?
Is it M3GAN or M3GAN? So they've
it's
made
M3GAN.
one good movie, and it was Get Out. And then Jordan Peele was like, okay, time to get away from these fucking imbeciles and go to a real production house. But
He
they're...
got out right before M3GAN.
That's right. He should have stayed.
Should have stayed.
But then James Wan did those. I still, to this day, do not get what is supposed to be scary. Paranormal Activity, I went to the goddamn
I
theater
won't watch it, so...
expecting, dude, I'm going to be scared shitless. I have legitimately, dude, no word of a lie, never been so bored and angry at the end of a movie in my fucking life.
But you know my issue with anticipating the scare. I get freaked out for no reason. And then it never
that's
comes.
why it works. But I can understand when that's why it works. You watch something like Poltergeist,
Barbarian.
like the original Poltergeist, that movie scares the piss out of me. Paranormal Activity, I remember watching it, and everyone was like, at the end, the only part of that movie that has a legit bit of foreboding that can make you scared is when they're watching the fucking way that they're explaining the story, the part of the narrative, they record themselves at night, and then someone, I guess the viewer, is then watching the footage Who's watching the
Isn't
footage?
it a found footage?
I guess no, it's not found footage. Well, arguably, I guess it is.
So
but
is it a mixture of the security found footage type stuff and them actually film? Are they okay? So they're
The
filming
first one-
on like a mobile camera type thing. So it's found
yeah.
footage.
Effectively,
The
yeah.
whole thing.
But
It's Blair Witch.
when it's when it's fast forwarding, to me in my brain, I'm going, who's fast forwarding? Am I? Like, is it supposed to be me fast forwarding? And that
The
instantly
user,
takes me out of it.
sure, yeah.
So,
'Cause
but
that's
there's
not
a
explained
scene
ever?
where she gets out of never explained.
Okay.
Where she gets out of bed, and then they fast forward. She goes walking over, and the husband's sleeping in bed, and she's just standing over him, looking at him. And then they fast forward it, and it goes for hours, where she's just standing there looking at him. I'm like, yeah, while he's moving around, and she's just
Slightly jerking?
She doesn't move at all. She just sits there and stares at him. And I was like, you know what? Okay, that's spooky. Then the rest of the movie just descends into just stupidity, where, I don't even want to go into detail about it because I hated it. I saw the first one, and then I saw the commercials for the second one, and never again. I'm like, I'm not being duped like that again. That movie was so fucking shitty. I have no idea what is scary about them. And you know what? Clearly, it works on an audience, but that audience is not me.
Yeah.
And then there were the Conjuring movies, which, okay, spooky ghost story, but it was about two con artists who were outed as con artists, but in the movie, they're supposed to be real, like they're not con artists. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, do you find it at the end that they are con artists? So I don't believe I've ever seen a Conjuring. There's a Conjuring, there's a Nun, there's an Annabelle, there's an Insidious. I don't know any of them. I get them all mixed up.
I don't watch any.
And I think I might have seen like 1.5. But James Wan made Insidious. I think he made Conjuring. James Wan is a talented filmmaker who can make a movie and not make it scary, but I understand the stuff that's supposed to be scary. And I know that's weird to say, but like Annabelle. Think of Annabelle. He knows, okay, this creepy fucking doll that would never get made, that no one would ever have, that people would throw in a river or burn. Sure, we're going to pretend this is a scary thing that someone keeps. Like, no, that would never happen, but I get what you're going for.
Yeah.
And then when I saw him pitching M3GAN, I was like, okay, we've already done the killer doll thing, and it was done superiorly with, if that's a word, I don't think it is, with the clown that attacks Robbie and Poltergeist, and then, of course, with Child's Play and Chucky. So I'm like, okay, I get where this story's going.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it was going to be Annabelle meets Chucky.
Yep. And then I saw the final trailer that came out for it. And this is the trailer.
One that it reveals too much?
Revealed pretty much everything.
As
She
they all
starts
do?
to dance and
Yeah.
shit. I texted you immediately and I said, I don't care what we have scheduled to talk about the next Monday. We have to go see M3GAN this weekend. This looks like fantastic garbage.
And my reaction was like, oh.
Oh, I'm going to be scared. I'm
yeah.
like, this is not scary. This is going to be really stupid fun. And I was very hopeful. I was like, my God, please let them know the type of movie they're making. And I will say that I was very pleasantly surprised. They absolutely knew the type of movie that they were making.
And this is definitely one that this is the type that I hope for out of a scary movie, even though it's not really one. This is a Cabin in the Woods.
Yep. It's just, it knows it's not there to scare. It knows that the idea of the story is ridiculous. Like, it's just stupid. The same that, like, with Child's Play. Look, they tried to make Child's Play as scary as they could, but they know the idea is silly. All right? Don Mancini knows the idea is silly. Even the Chucky TV show, it is very tongue-in-cheek and stupid and silly because he knows it's a stupid idea, right? M3GAN is the same way. They tried... They knew, okay, people might be scared of this whole thing. So, yeah, okay, make it as good as we can. Yeah. But the majority of it was nice and stupid. And I had a ball watching this. Similar to Top Gun, where I went in, a bit different from Top Gun, where Top Gun I went in expecting I'm going to hate this and really enjoy myself. This one I was like, this is going to be stupid fun. And it was a lot more stupid fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And it took itself seriously in parts, but then, yeah, it had fun.
Mm-hmm. And it took itself way not seriously in other parts.
So explain M3GAN.
So the movie starts with Katie, not Katy, but in Cady.
K8IE.
I thought, so what, that would mean her name is like Cadence or Cassandra? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
But Katie. She's in a car. She has a doll called a perpetual pet that poops when you feed it too much and says stupid things like, whoa, the cleanup on aisle 7.
Which immediately I thought this would be annoying. And then I kind of like it.
But she's driving with her parents in a car, getting in a car accident. Katie's fine. Both of her parents are dead. Her aunt is the lady that made the perpetual pets for Funky or Funny or something is the name of the company she works for. And then you find out that she needs to, from her boss, comes and tells her, you need to make a new version of the perpetual pet that's super cheap because we're getting ripped off.
Yeah, Funky.
This guy is a terrible actor.
Yeah.
Her Asian boss.
He must have been made to be this
Holy
way. 'Cause
moly,
it
he was bad.
Really bad, yeah.
But yeah, he's got like a Tommy Wiseau vibe where it's like, dude, be kind of a bad actor. And I feel like he did it. Oh, he did it fantastically. But the movie's
he's like Harold and Kumar secondary actor.
It was so bad. We meet what's the mom's or the aunt's name? Gemma. We meet Gemma, and Gemma is she's working on M3GAN, but she's not supposed to be. And long story short, M3GAN is the next big thing. They're like, hey, fuck this perpetual pets thing. I'm gonna make M3GAN look like a real person, and then I'm gonna give it to Katie, and Katie
learn.
It's
an AI,
and Katie can play with it, and it learns Katie and all that garbage. So they make,
and the big thing with it is that it's supposed to protect not the owner, but the consumer.
She's basically a toy Terminator, is what she is. She will destroy whatever tries to harm.
That was not the intent.
Right, but of course that's what's going to happen because the movie needs to happen.
Turned into, yes.
But so they make this M3GAN bot, and M3GAN meets Katie, and so okay, let's just get this out into the open because I don't want to tiptoe around it. The majority of what you and I were laughing about hysterically, especially on the way home, is talking about all the sex things that people would use M3GAN for.
Oh, yeah.
You can't, it becomes painfully obvious as you're watching a movie, like a lot of young boys, especially young boys, young girls, and majority older men are going to buy M3GAN to do sex stuff to it.
There's no policing that.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
I
think
callback. Like
I think they knew that because they're like, hey, Katie, you know how you have to match yourself with M3GAN? You need to like finger her hands, like rub the clit that's in the middle of her hand. And you're like, I remember looking at you like, what the fuck? So she's rubbing M3GAN's clit in the middle of her hand. And she says, she says, tell M3GAN, rub her clit and tell her your name.
Stop saying clit. This is weird.
She's like, rubbing the old man in the boat on M3GAN.
This must have happened when I went to the washroom.
And she says, hi, M3GAN, I'm Katie. First thing that I was thinking of, why the fuck does M3GAN not think her name is, oh, hi. Hi, M3GAN, I'm Katie. I'm M3GAN. She should have said her name is just fucking Katie, not hi, M3GAN, I'm Katie.
It's a smart AI. It figures this stuff out.
If you go up to your goddamn Googler and say, my name is...
That's not a smart AI.
It's
not.
Yes, it is.
They're not allowed to use AI yet for that.
So,
but guess who's bought a bunch of
then,
AI? Microsoft.
Then she's like, hey, M3GAN, I'm your friend. M3GAN says, where'd you get that jacket? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's really nice. I like it. And then M3GAN starts to sing a fucking song for some reason.
Remember, M3GAN is trying to develop a rapport with this child and has specific things to do so that they think will work. And it seems to work.
And then she draws a picture with an invisible pen and then spills water on it, and it's great and whatever. So then Gemma decides...
you brought that up for no reason.
Gemma or Gemma, whatever the fucking name is, decides, hey, this... Because M3GAN is at least $80,000, at least $80,000.
Yeah, it's one of those toy for life type thing.
Yeah, there's no way you're buying this for less, I want to say, than 80 grand. Not a chance.
Well, they were saying that it would be somewhat more expensive than buying a car.
A Tesla, yeah. And they're going to have like different models of it and whatnot, but I'm like,
course.
sure. But for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going minimum $80,000. So Gemma takes Megan home, and as soon as this scene came on screen, I knew the type of movie we were watching, and I was ready to have fun. So they open the door, and Megan comes walking in, and she's wearing sunglasses, and she takes her sunglasses off, like all fucking hip, and looks around, type of thing. I'm like, yep, I'm on board for this movie because this is fucking stupid.
In this case, this doll is for a child that's a girl, and the doll has to be fashion oriented.
Why would a doll
cool.
ever need sunglasses?
Fashion. Because they're going to make buck on... If it's a toy for life, you have to make buck on other things.
So...
Sponsorship deals for these
that
sunglasses.
That also lends to the ideology of if this is a toy for life, that means Megan is what? Or not Megan, Katie is like 12. We'll say 10, 12. As she grows, Megan always stays the same age.
Yeah, but Megan is a variable thing. Like it's short, it's whatever, but Megan it's just like having a teddy bear, right? It's a teddy bear for life.
Right. But if you had a teddy bear when you were 5 and then you're talking to that teddy bear when you're 25, that teddy bear has grown with
no
all the
judgments. Don't talk to me about Teddy.
So
don't put my dog.
They also have a neighbor that's got a psycho killer dog.
There's the dog.
And I love that the dog is barking and Katie was playing fucking with a bow and arrow and shoots the arrow over there, and then Megan goes over to get the arrow, and this dog clamps onto fucking Megan's hand and pulls Megan through, and then clamps onto the back of her neck. It's like beating her against the ground.
Which almost was Katie.
Almost was Katie. Yeah, sure.
So
and then it bites Katie's arm. But the problem is, when it's grabbing Megan and smacking her against the ground, I am laughing hysterically in the theater. It was ridiculous.
So what's the point of this scene?
The dog bit Katie. That means harm to Katie. It's got to die.
Yeah.
Right? Same with, for some reason, the old lady.
This is where the movie turns.
It turns for the stupid and
It's
super fun stupid.
But like, it's starting to get the creepy vibe because you're like, what's going to happen with Megan? Like Megan's
See, I never got that.
Giving the eye is like, something's up. You
But
know
again,
Megan's going to do something.
And again, I knew that's what, and that's what I meant by James Wan really knows what he's doing, because he knows that there's going to be people like me that are in the audience going, this is fucking stupid, and I am having fun. And there's going to be people in the audience like you, like, oh, Megan looks fucking scary.
Just
oh, it's
worried
illegal.
that it's going to turn into this scary movie. I'm glad it didn't.
So, I mean, long story short, everybody gets the idea, and everybody's already put out reviews of Megan. We haven't because I've been sick of COVID.
That's our job. What are you talking about? Just do.
But the movie is about a Megan goes crazy, kills people. The best, there's 2 deaths that Megan does.
Well, okay,
that's not true.
No, she goes into protective mode, and she kills the neighbor and the dog. All right,
but how does she kill the neighbor? Do you remember?
By pretending she was the dog.
She was the dog.
Yeah,
and then knocking the neighbor down, and the neighbor keeps on using pesticide on her lawn with a fucking power washer. So Megan takes a power washer and I guess melts the lady with
brutal death. Yes, but the point
was
is
fucking fantastic.
Then the aunt, starts saying this is getting not okay.
Yep.
And so that means the Megan's now against the aunt.
Yep.
And then against everyone
Which doesn't
else.
make any sense, because the only way that Megan would be against Gemma is if Gemma was threatening Katie, because Megan's primary concern is to protect Katie. So why is Megan against Gemma? Because she wants to take down Megan? That doesn't make any sense. She would only. You can't take me down. I'm a fucking robot. You can't hurt me. I'm fucking
because
bionic.
she wants to fix Megan,
And
she wants to. If she's being fixed, then that means she can't protect.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So who cares? But the point is, so then Katie turns into an annoying little bitch and wants to take Megan everywhere, and then she decides. I'm gonna take Megan out to this non-homeschool outside school learning thing, and then there's the bully, Brendan, and the bully Brendan was Phil's favorite actor.
Oh my
I think he's ever
God.
seen.
It was the best actor of this movie.
He does have one good line when his mom is like, "Brendan, do you want anything? Do you want anything, honey?" He turns around and looks at her and goes, "Fuck off, Holly."
I'm sorry, Brendan. Is that his name?
Brendan.
If you're watching this, please don't be discouraged. Please get better. But his acting was atrocious. It was just, but I believe it was one of those throwaway actors that they were just like, we don't care about using a really good actor. And
he's a young kid. He's just learning to get into the craft. So yeah, maybe he will get better. But yeah, his acting was not very good. But this was the scene. Okay, so I'm watching it.
Great that you got into this movie because it got shown to a lot of people. So good.
I'm watching this movie with my two sons, and Megan just grabs him by the ear and starts stretching his ear like, "You're a bad boy. You know what bad boys turn into? Bad men." And it's like comically, it's like fucking like Blazing Saddles Spaceballs varsity.
Because that thing
stretching
would
out.
Tear
just
away.
tear off.
Yeah.
And I look over my one son, my oldest son, and he's like, ah. He's like horrified by it. And my other son, who's more like me, he was like, laughing. And then she rips his ear off and throws it away. And then
eating it.
Right? But then this is where I remember in the theater, I started laughing uncontrollably.
Rob's weird in the theaters.
Where
laughs at.
It's true. I laugh like a maniac in the theaters. Where Brendan runs away.
Weirdest, like compared to everyone else, everyone's like laughing at the made for the laugh moment, while you will
pure gore and tip.
the certain things out of a scene that other people don't get, and we'll just start laughing, and other people, I guarantee, will go,
"What the fuck is that guy laughing at? What's wrong with that guy?" There are so many, especially in this movie. There's so many parts where I was the only one laughing in the theater. Yep. And again, I think James Wan knows that, okay, there's some people that are going to be laughing at the funny parts and some people that are going to be laughing at these fucking goofy parts. But this...
I would have absolutely loved if someone took this movie way too seriously and came down and was like,
"Excuse me. I'm trying to... This movie's fucking terrifying. M3GAN is a terrifying fucking creature.
It's just as good as Barbarian."
But... So Brandon goes running away, and then for some reason, M3GAN decides to start running on all fours. Why? And by any stretch of the imagination, because it is slower to run on all fours than if you're a human being. It's slower to run on all fours than it is to just run on your two fucking feet.
No, if you're an animal, generally speaking.
If you're an animal that's designed to run on all fours.
But she's a fucking robot. She can learn to run on all fours.
Why the fuck did she not just run on her feet? It was so stupid.
To be faster.
But okay, sure. But then what's great is she's chasing Brandon. Brendan rolls down the hill and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm away from Megan." Looks over and this car splat hits him. And what's great is the car fucking slams on its brakes and screeches, and there's fucking blood trail all underneath the car.
Yeah, it's gory.
I was having a ball. I was laughing myself fucking silly. And then what I did like is Megan looks like some fucking date at an outdoor party, a college party that's just been fucked in the woods, because her hair is everywhere. There's fucking leaves and shit all in her hair. And then the very next scene, hair's perfect. Like, who combed her hair? Who was like, "Oh, fuck, man, this doll looks fucked the hell up."
It's got an AI, Rob. It'll fix itself.
It was so stupid. I was having a lot of fun. And by this point, I was like, "Oh, man, I know the type of movie we're watching. I'm having a ball." And then Megan is, full-blown crazy. They want to do a show with Megan. And this is what made me... A presentation, right. This is what made me believe that the actor that's playing the boss, he's actually a good actor, and they're asking him to be a shit actor.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they have the story with Casey, like, "Oh, I lost both my parents. And I was so sad. I didn't know who I would turn to. And then I met Megan, and Megan opened up my whole life, and beauty and butterflies and windows and whatever. And she's all happy. And he's like, see, look, if she could be happy, then imagine what Megan could do for your kids. And your kids don't even have dead parents. And I was like, what the fuck kind of commercial is that? It was so fucking good. But then it goes full tilt stupid, where for absolutely no reason outside of the producers are like, okay, we got to get some money for this stupid movie. Rihanna or Ashley Simpson or Britney Spears.
Taylor Swift, I think.
Sure, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's people.
Right, I might be wrong.
We'll put a scene of Megan dancing to your song if you give us, $1 million. They're like, all right, fine, we got $1 million, whatever. So they throw it in. So now they're contractually obligated. They got to have this stupid scene. And then they're like, oh, shit. You know what's big right now? TikTok. You know what people do on TikToks? They do the TikTok dances. So for absolutely no reason, Megan, across the hallway, meets the owner of the company or the chairman of the company, wherever he is, and Megan starts to dance. And there's no rhyme or reason. She's never danced before. She's got no reason to dance. And the music is playing from somewhere. The Rihanna song or Britney Spears or Taylor Swift or whatever the fuck it is, I don't care. That starts up and then Megan's fucking dancing and flipping around and shit and then grabs the fucking blade off like a paper cutter and then just goes, doop, 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 just walking after him. The guy's like, ah! And he goes running away. And what's great is
it's like funny, but it's creepy and it's...
Oh, it was not creepy. It was funny. Because Megan's just like... Boop, 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 boop.
If a 14-year-old sex doll started coming after you with a giant paper slicer, yeah, you'd be scared.
It was... And then, Megan kills people and whatnot. It's so stupid. And then, of course, the end happens and Megan gets torn in half.
By
Bruce
prototype kind of robot, like a robot the aunt made a while back that this was kind of based off of, but it was like this giant robot. It was probably like a helper robot, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Something like that.
But, okay, so the real questions of this movie, one, who's going to be able to afford to buy Megan? People with a lot of money. You know who's got a lot of money? Weird perverts.
Yeah.
Weird perverts are going to buy Megan to be a sex doll, right? So, and we know that Megan is not anatomically correct, right? Why would you want an anatomically correct doll?
That's what I was explaining to you is like the reason why it wouldn't happen is because they would make it so that it's not anatomically correct, so that people wouldn't buy this to have sex.
You'd be able to buy modified versions.
Oh, I guarantee you there'd be a black market for this. Yes. Yep.
But, and that's what got me thinking, like, you would see Megan's...
And she still has hands and a mouth.
Good point. But you would see Megan's all over the place. And this is something I brought up to my boys, too, that was confusing. Let's say 60,000 Megans got sold, okay? Are they all named...
Way more than that.
Are they all named Megan?
I think it's going to be one of those. They're Megans, but you rename them when you get them.
Oh, what you want? Okay, because that's what I was confused by. Like, if you're walking around, and Dexter brought up the great point of, well, she's encoded to you. So when you call to your Megan, only your Megan responds, right?
Yeah, but I think it would be just you'd name it. It'd just be like a pet or a stuffed animal,
right? But when you would see, like, and this is something we were talking about in the car. Like, what about when you're 12 years old, you're learning all about your sexuality, you're going into puberty, and you're discovering stuff.
It'd be all for the better.
Yeah, what are you doing with Megan? And you notice another thing that they didn't bring up:
parental approved activities.
They never bring
Bingo.
up what about boys that want a Megan? Is there a boy version of Megan? Would there be a boy version? But then what about the creepy fucking perverts that want a Megan?
Would you then put out? Yeah, I guess you'd have to put out an asexual version or like a
gender neutral, gender fluid.
Yeah.
But then what about parents who had a child die and want to replace their child with a Megan?
Yeah, why not?
Like it's...
And then you get into the whole thing is like, okay, our next version, we have more choices. Oh, then you get to create a Megan. where you can create something in whatever likeness you want. And then you have to worry about, okay, is this likeness Taylor Swift? Or
I just, all the different
Betty
stuff
White.
that could go wrong with the M3GAN made me laugh. And honestly, what we were joking about in the way home with the revolting, disgusting shit that people would use M3GANs for,
we
to
haven't
me,
even scratched the surface.
was
'cause
far more fun than
then
the
you get
M3GAN.
into AI issues. Like they become self-aware.
Yep.
The best thing I could tell anyone watching this is download or see if you can buy it, Animatrix. You ever watched the Animatrix?
Oh, yes.
There is
Boring. The
one
movie was
in there
boring.
that goes through what happens to these robots when they start realizing
Yeah.
they are. When
That
they're
was the one
self-aware.
that was bookended. It was like the rise.
It's the one
and-
with nudity. Because the girl's clothes get torn off. I remember this because I was that age and I was like,
Wow. Robot boobs.
yeah. Well, at first it wasn't, and then I shouldn't have to explain myself. I was like 13.
You should have had a M3GAN. M3GAN, can you rub this area of me?
But then you,
of course, Phil.
I will add
Let
on.
me explain to you what's happening while your penis is becoming engorged with blood.
I will add on to that issue is that there's multiple ways to look at it. But okay, say they were allowing that, or your parents were allowing that.
For you to get jacked off by a M3GAN doll.
Sure, what's the difference than having your
Why the
hands
fuck
do it?
wouldn't you just jerk off on your own instead of paying $80,000 to have one do it for you?
Rich parents.
Yeah, I guess.
The whole issue is okay. You're
The whole issue
You're
is
13
right.
and you have a M3GAN. Okay, that looks about the same age. You grow up. You're 18 with a M3GAN who's still 13,
That's right.
and you've had
You
this
just fucking
sexual
said
relationship.
before. You just
No,
said
I'm
before
adding-
that she grows up with you like your teddy bear.
No, where I was going with that is that
At least you can wash your teddy bear when you come in it.
I would assume that later on they would have models for age groups. So you grow up, you could transfer the AI into the newest robot.
Do you think
I think they'd want to keep selling.
Do you think they have like a married version of M3GAN where she stops giving blowjobs, she stops giving handjobs, and she gets progressively fatter and meaner as time goes on?
I'm not even going to comment on that. You're in trouble.
I
not
love my
me.
wife very much,
Oh.
but interesting things happen when you've been as married as long as I have. Interesting things stop happening. Even married as long as I have. I love, and I know I've said this on this show
I don't know how
before.
that is. I have no idea what you're talking about, Rob.
I love when people are, especially new people that are just celebrating. They're like, "Oh, we've been married for 10 years. Oh, that's nice. How long have you been married? I don't know." And then I even said to Karen, I go, "How long have you been married?"
No, that comes up every once in a
And
while.
she's like,
but I've only been like 12 years.
But what's
11
great
and
is
a half.
when you ask your wife, and even your wife's to the point of, what is it, 15, 16 years? I think it's 16 years. No, wait, 17 years. When your wife doesn't remember,
Dude,
that's when you know
a
I'm
couple of
married a
years
long
ago,
time.
I had to ask her how old I was.
I get that all. I think I told you this before. I went an entire fucking year thinking I was a year younger than I actually was. I thought I was 44
happens.
for the longest time. And then on my 45th birthday, I thought I was turning 44. And Karen was like, "You're 45, idiot." And when they realized that I legit thought 44, she's like, "Count back from your goddamn birthday, you fucking moron." And I'm
much
like
work.
thinking, I'm like, "Oh shit, that's right, I am. Holy
much work.
shit."
And the only reason I know now is because I'm turning 40.
Gross, 40.
Ugh,
Guess how old I'm going to be this year?
72.
72. That's right. Episode 171.
Remember when you got Will with that one? You said you were like 60 or something. He was like,
I believe it, but I'm skeptical.
M3GAN. There's so many things that we can go through
Yep.
that are issues with at the end all be all is you would have to have that chosen to not be able to do things.
Yep.
And then you would have to have fail safes. And then you would have to have there's no way to really deal with it, but it's going to happen.
The movie is really stupid fun. It's not scary. It's stupidly fun. And if you treat it as stupid fun, and then all the disgusting fucking gross things that you're thinking in the back of your head that make you laugh.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think this disgusting thing.
That's what was fun about it.
Too
That's-
young to be thought of.
You could just fucking spray her down with alcohol and wipe that shit right off.
So, what would you give this movie out of 10, Rob?
Also,
How many?
it wasn't until I watched the second time
Threegans?
around with the boys. Katie is like 12, right?
We don't
She
know.
comes out of the bathroom, or
She could be just a short
19-year-old.
40-year-old.
So she's Gemma goes in. She's like, Jesus Christ, Katie, seriously, flush the toilet. And then she goes in to use the toilet again. And then when she comes out, Megan is standing by the door
Katie,
and says,
flush the toilet
Katie,
or
seriously,
die."
flush the toilet. She does it like 2 or 3 times. My idiot kids forget once, and it happens because kids are kids. I'm like, boys, what are you, fucking stupid? Flush the fucking toilet. That's fucking disgusting. You're don't be stupid.
My kid's still doing it.
And then it doesn't happen for a long time,
Yeah.
and then it happens again. Whatever, right? We've all done it. You get the vibe from this commercial that Katie is forgetting to flush the toilet every fucking day, and I'm like,
That's a kid thing, but she's old enough.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. She's old enough to fucking know to flush the fucking
How
toilet.
old is Katie in this?
I say she's 12. I don't know if they actually say how old she is, but I say she's like 12.
She's that ignorant snot who does. Maybe she's purposely not flushing the toilet to piss her aunt
Just to
off.
be a bitch, right?
But Megan's
Also,
like,
why the fuck wouldn't Megan just go in and flush the fucking toilet?
But Megan is. This is smart actually, because Megan, you would love for Megan to do that. You would love for them to like, if it's something you said, okay, brush your teeth before bed. I don't want to have to fucking keep saying it. I'm lazy.
You want Megan to brush your teeth?
No, I want Megan to tell my son to brush his teeth each time and remind him. I don't want to have to do it.
Open wide, Phil.
Okay.
Open wide,
Okay,
Megan.
Okay, Taylor Swift.
My goodness, Rob. It seems like you've eaten a lot of sweet food today.
It's time for you to brush your. That's where
It's time for you to brush my teeth.
Out of 10, Rob.
I would give this
out of 10 teeth.
out of 10
brushed.
3GANs. I would give this.
Three.
You know, I enjoyed it. You know, I'd give it 7 M3GANs because I enjoyed myself. It was stupid, and I was like, I'll never watch this again. And then here I am watching it with the fucking boys again. I give it 7 M3GANs out of 10.
This should have been a 5, but it's definitely a 7 or a 7.5. It was just fun. It's definitely. So Cabin in the Woods is a good 8 or almost a 9. Like, it's amazing, but this is kind of like in that wavelength of type
it
of
was
movie.
it was reaching that kind of, it was trying to hit that same kind of high note that Cabin in the
not
Woods
meta,
did, but it
kinda
didn't
meta.
it didn't get it.
Yeah, it was. If it was in the same universe, I would believe it.
If they had started even just kind of playing on the idea of what people would do with Megan, that would have made me laugh, and I'm like, okay, this goes
Yeah,
up another notch. But
I
they
don't
never
think they
did.
even
And maybe the sequel will.
Wanted to mention it because like it's obvious.
But I think there's
it
a
obvious?
there's a right way to do it where you can make it funny, right? And I'm hoping maybe the second one can do that.
Megan, come to my office. That's what the CEO would say.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then she comes walking in, takes off
Starts
her
dancing.
sunglasses. Boss, do you like my high
You
heels?
think they're doing something dirty and she's actually like polishing his shoes or something? I said what we
I
gave
bought
it.
my Megan with the VacuSuck 5000.
It comes with suction, and then you think the dirty thing, and it's like, no, she vacuums the house.
Suck it, Megan.
I would just bring. I would get Megan to do my chores. Who cares about the sex?
One of my
stuff?
chores is masturbating. You
While
got to do
Megan's
it.
doing the chores.
You know what
That's
she should
what
do?
you mean.
She should be vacuuming one hand and jacking me off with the other. What a stupid movie this was, but god damn it, did I enjoy it. So we're sorry, man. We're really sorry that you
really
watched
sorry,
this
yeah.
episode
If-
of Watch and Complain.
Yeah, we're banned.
Model 3 generative Android. Yeah, that's where M3GAN comes from. So remember, kids, don't jack off with robots.
Brush your teeth.
Bye.